unusual in this video. The thing that I'm going to do is admit what I got wrong. First, in order to admit it, I had to figure it out. And then things I got right and things that other people are getting wrong. But people say that they do introspection. We should do introspection after this loss. The Democrats say all over TV. And do they actually do introspection? No, they never say, "Oh, here's what I got wrong." They say, "Here's what they got wrong, and they got wrong, and they got." Okay, brother, we can do that, and I do that too. But at some points, you got to look at, yeah, but did I get it right, and where did I go wrong? Otherwise, it's not really introspection. So I'm going to do all of that right now. You guys know, shows live Monday through Friday, starts at 6 o'clock Eastern, goes to 8 o'clock Eastern, and then a bonus episode for the members. Hit the join button below to become a member, and members support our show. They're basically our boss. And I love that they allow us to do this kind of honest programming, which is exactly what I'm going to do here, and put the blame in the places where it belongs, including on me. Okay. First, though, I'm going to ironically start with what I'm going to take credit for, and it's doubly ironic. It's ironic that I'm taking credit in the middle of a video where I emphasize what I got wrong. It's also ironic because I'm taking credit for not knowing. It could be potentially triply ironic because you can count it as actually being wrong, and nevertheless, I'm taking credit for it. So what is it, and why am I doing all that fun stuff? So no matter how much pressure there was from both sides, and there was overwhelming pressure, the MAGA screaming online, social media, we're obviously going to win. We're obviously going to win. You're crazy if you don't think we're going to win. And Blue MAGA by the end going, oh, it's such an easy win. You're all crazy if you don't think it's an easy win. And we got a landslide coming. And did you see that poll from Iowa, right? And through all of it, I stuck with a thing that I almost never say, which is, I don't know. There's not enough information. I don't know. And I'm actually super proud of that.
I love Cenk and I appreciate what he's doing. I really do. But it's literally his job to make the prediction that he chose to opt out of making in the 2024 election. If he feels like he didn't have enough data to make that prediction, then he literally has the power to go get that data himself, for whether it be from people who are already gathering it or doing the footwork and gathering it himself. No one should be calling themselves a political commentator or political analyst and they don't feel comfortable making a prediction on a presidential election. If you are in that position, then it's your responsibility to educate yourself enough to be able to make that prediction, since making the prediction is required of your position in society just because of the career that you have. Especially as someone who has one of the biggest shows out there for politics in general, he's in a particularly good place to get the information that he needs in order to make predictions. So I kind of feel like it's a little bit cowardly, a little bit weaseling out of, his responsibility in a way. And it certainly helps him save face now that he didn't make that prediction, as he's so adamantly bragging about. So he honestly shouldn't be proud about the fact that he felt incapable of making a decision on a presidential election, especially one that ended in a landslide. Because if it ended in a landslide, it's obvious that there was enough information out there for you to at least make some kind of prediction, even if it wasn't a super duper accurate one. But given the fact that it was a landslide, the only political analysts and commentators that are worth their salt right now are the ones who at least predicted that Trump would win.
I know it's an ironic thing to be proud of, but guys, resisting that pressure, especially from your own side, and admitting fallibility and saying, I just don't know. If I knew, I'd share it with you guys. I think a tiny bit of a credit sticker on that one, right?
Yes, of course, you get a little bit of credit for just being honest, but again, it's your responsibility to know, especially when it doesn't end in like a close victory. If it ended in a close victory, then it is arguable that there was not enough data out there to make a proper prediction. But that was not the case by and large here. So very, very small sticker, okay?
Now, could I have been more right? Of course! I could have said that Trump was going to win, and I know it for sure. And some people did say that, and it turns out, by the way, they were right. I don't know that the for sure was right, but but the correct part was definitely right. Right? They got it right, and you should give them credit. In fact, that's the thing I'm going to return to for what I'm wrong about in a little bit. Okay, so to all of you guys out there in Trump land, or even if you weren't, even more impressive if you weren't in Trump land and thought that Trump was going to win, congrats, you got it right. Okay, so for the moment being, though, I'll take whatever solace I can find, and I find, as you can tell, significant solace in that I didn't give into pressure from both sides to declare something I didn't know, and so that's how I landed on it. And I'll call that a semi-win and move on. If you say no, Cenk, that's just the loss. You should have known better. Okay, God bless your heart. No problem with that analysis as well.
It's not that you should have known better for sure, like a lot of people claimed, because I don't think that anyone could know for sure. 'Cause no one's a fortune teller, but you should have tried to know better. You know, you should have tried to harder to have an opinion. That's what I think. The most important question here is, does Cenk think he should have known better in this election? I personally think he should have, and it seems like he's not holding himself to that standard, which I think is sad for the state of political operatives in America.
So, and I am actually kind of mad at myself because I told you guys my intuition's leaning Trump. I told you like 2 Sundays before the election, I had that feeling of doom, etc. But at the end of the day, the Democrats at the end, uh, had this bedeviling confidence, and but to be fair, a whole bunch of poll results that turned out to be obviously incorrect, but that indicated that Kamala Harris had the momentum and was winning undecided voters. That brought me back to an I don't know. Right, it brought me back to a tie.
I think it does more harm than good when political parties say that they're going to win, but they know they're going to lose. I can see the argument that gets made where it might motivate people into coming out and voting more if they think that their side is going to win. But I also think there's a large and maybe larger group of people who hear that and think, oh, well, if we're going to win, then my vote's not necessary. I don't need to take the time to go out to the polls. We're going to win, right? So if the Democratic Party is doing that, then I genuinely don't know how effective that strategy is. That's going to be something I'm going to have to look into, which will be an interesting study because I'll have to compare political parties that said we're going to win to, or political campaigns that said we're going to win to I don't know if there are any political campaigns that were like, yeah, y'all, we're struggling out here. We need y'all to come down to the booth because it's looking bad. Like, I don't know how many have taken that route, but it will be interesting to find out. I'm also hearing that Kamala's senior staff went on Pod Save America recently and said that they knew they were going to lose. So they were saying they were going to win when they knew the opposite was true, which not also seems ineffective but immoral at the same time because, you're lying to everyone. And here you go. Clear evidence of the harm of lying to everyone. Cenk and millions of other people were unable to accurately predict the outcome of the 2024 election because they rely on the opinions of people who are lying to them at the end of the day. So I think it's obvious, in my opinion, that it does more harm than good to use this strategy. And it, again, is immoral, but who's going to tell that to the Democrats?
And so, but I should have known that I should have dismissed it more. Right. So, okay. So that's that. Let's be, we're clear enough on that.
See, this is what you do to people. You make people have to adjust the way that they react to you and say, everything this person tells me, I have to take with 10,000 grains of salt because it's almost certainly a lie. So how does this help you? Like, please tell me how it does more good than harm. Legit question.